Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is enjoying their day. Please subscribe and like the video before continuing. Y&R spoilers, Audra's revenge, crashes Kyle and Claire's wedding? The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, is about to propose to Claire Newman, Hayley Erin. She will likely say yes. What is this? With that said, considering how upset Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, is at these two lovebirds, could she end up crashing their wedding in an act of revenge? Audra's target, the downfall of Claire. The Young and the Restless spoilers remind fans that Audra doesn't only have beef with Kyle at this point, but Claire as well. Especially since the Newman blew up her own relationship with Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, by telling him what she did in Nice, and her scheme with Victor Newman, Eric Braeden. Still, even though Kyle fessed up to Claire about his kiss with Audra at Kane Ashby's, Billy Flynn, summer home, he still failed to disclose the entire story, the fact that he was only wearing a towel and smile, plus, they were on his bed in his train car during said lip lock. This continues to be brought up in scenes, and Audra recently mentioned it to her bestie, Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, too. Claire still doesn't know the whole story, and this could bite Kyle in the butt. Audra's vengeance. Audra seems focused on Claire's downfall. Even before the Nate thing, she hates the fact that Kyle got the better of her in Nice, and knowing that he not only scored Victor's approval, but is marrying Claire, will only heighten Audra's bitterness. Even though Audra dug herself into this hole, she still blames Kyle for losing her Vibrante funding, and now she blames Claire for losing the love of her life. It's easy to see Audra bursting into Claire and Kyle's wedding just as the priest announces if anyone objects to this holy union. If Audra realizes there is a missing piece that Claire doesn't know about what happened between her and Kyle in the south of France, she'll have no issue crashing the nuptials to set Claire straight and finally blow up their romance, as she originally intended to do. What is this? Will Audra crash the Claire wedding? Share your thoughts. Tune into the CBS Soap Daily and check out this site often for the best Young and the Restless updates, spoilers, and news. Y&R spoilers, Audra's revenge, crashes Kyle and Claire's wedding? The Young and the Restless has always been Genoa City's beating heart of drama, and just when fans think they know what to expect, the writers find a way to twist the story in shocking and unforgettable ways. The latest buzz circling through spoilers, teasers, and whispers from set insiders suggests that the highly anticipated wedding of Kyle Abbott and Claire Grace could be heading straight into disaster territory. The culprit? None other than Audra Charles, the bold and relentless woman who has made a name for herself by blowing up other people's lives while refusing to apologize for her actions. If the rumor mill is true, the Abbott Mansion's iconic grand staircase may witness more than vows and champagne flutes. It could play host to a crashing entrance dripping with revenge, heartbreak, and chaos. The wedding between Kyle and Claire was never going to be a simple union. From the very beginning, their relationship sparked questions. Could Kyle really move forward so soon after his rocky split from Summer Newman, the woman many thought would be his forever? And could Claire, with her troubled past and deep Newman family baggage, ever truly find stability in the powerful Abbott household? The two seemed determined to make it work, putting aside history, grudges, and even lingering doubts. But no wedding in Genoa City comes without baggage, and this one may be doomed before the first toast is even raised. Audra Charles has been circling Kyle for what feels like years. Their connection was volatile, steamy, and built on shaky ground, but there was no denying the spark between them. While Kyle might claim he has moved on with Claire, Audra never struck fans as the type of woman who accepts rejection lightly. She has been spurned before, underestimated by the likes of Victoria Newman and Nate Hastings, and she has come out swinging every time. Revenge, to Audra, is an art form, and what better stage than a wedding? It's the ultimate soap trope, the moment when secrets explode and alliances collapse under the weight of scandal. Imagine the scene. The Abbott Mansion is decorated in soft florals and white linens, the sound of champagne glasses clinking filling the air. Jack Abbott beams with pride as his son prepares to take the next big step, while Diane Jenkins floats nearby, thrilled at her family's apparent happiness. Claire, dressed in a gown that symbolizes redemption and fresh beginnings, walks down the aisle toward a man she believes is her future. The guests, family, friends, frenemies, all sit on edge, knowing that weddings in Genoa City are rarely free of spectacle. And just as the vows are about to be exchanged, the double doors swing open, and there stands Audra Charles, every bit the storm in stilettos, eyes gleaming with fury and triumph. Would Audra come bearing a secret, or would her very presence be enough to send the ceremony into chaos? Spoilers hint that she might have more than one card up her sleeve. She could expose Kyle's lingering feelings for Summer, a truth that Claire may not be ready to confront. She could reveal a secret about Claire herself, perhaps dredging up her family drama with Jordan or her role in the Newman saga. Or, perhaps most explosively, Audra could announce that she's carrying Kyle's child, a twist that would make jaws drop across the room. While nothing has been confirmed, the potential for a baby bombshell is exactly the kind of soapy twist that could blow this wedding to pieces. But Audra's revenge may not be limited to Kyle and Claire. By choosing their wedding as her battlefield, she would be striking at the Abbott family as a whole. Jack and Diane have worked tirelessly to protect Kyle from bad decisions, and they've had their own battles with Audra in the past. For Audra, this moment could serve as sweet payback, an opportunity to humiliate the Abbotts in front of their high society friends while reminding Genoa City that she is a woman to be feared, not ignored. And let's not forget her connections to Tucker McCall. If Audra is working with Tucker again, this could be part of a much bigger scheme to destabilize the Abbott legacy and pull Jabot into yet another corporate war. Of course, Kyle himself is far from blameless. His track record in relationships is messy, and it wouldn't be the first time he's strung along one woman while harboring feelings for another. Summer remains a wild card in this entire storyline. Though she has kept her distance, spoilers suggest she may be harboring her own regrets about losing Kyle. Could Audra's interruption open the door for a renewed Kyle-Summer love story? Claire may find herself humiliated at the altar while Kyle wrestles with his unresolved emotions for his ex-wife. The fallout could completely reshape the Genoa City romantic landscape. There's also the question of whether Claire herself is ready for a marriage to Kyle. While she has made strides toward healing and redemption, her past is never far behind. Nikki Newman has only just begun to trust her niece, and the wounds left by Jordan's manipulations are still raw. Audra crashing the wedding could push Claire to her breaking point, forcing her to question not only her relationship with Kyle but also her place in Genoa City as a whole. Would Claire stand her ground and fight back against Audra's accusations, or would she crumble under the pressure, leaving Kyle at the altar in tears? Spoilers also hint that other Genoa City power players may seize this opportunity for their own agendas. Phyllis Summers, never one to let chaos pass her by, could insert herself into the drama, perhaps siding with Claire to take down Audra or subtly pushing Kyle back towards Summer. Victor Newman might see the scandal as a way to destabilize the Abbotts while boosting his own family's influence. Nikki, horrified by the possibility of Claire being dragged through the mud on her wedding day, could lash out in ways that reignite old rivalries. And then there's Tucker, who could either applaud Audra's theatrics or be blindsided by them, depending on whether he's truly aligned with her. Thematically, this storyline would be classic Y&R, a blend of love, betrayal, corporate warfare, and deeply personal vendettas. Fans have long craved high-stakes drama that keeps them glued to the screen, and a wedding disaster is exactly the kind of event that can set off months of ripple effects. If Audra pulls the trigger on her revenge, the consequences could extend far beyond Kyle and Claire. Friendships could fracture, family ties could be tested, and businesses could be thrown into turmoil. For Audra, this move would cement her as one of the show's most dynamic modern villains. She is not the cackling caricature of soap baddies past but a complex woman driven by ambition, pride, and wounded love. Crashing the wedding would be an act of defiance, a statement that she refuses to be cast aside. It would also be a declaration of war, not just against Kyle but against anyone who dares to underestimate her. But could there be a softer side to Audra's motives? Soap operas thrive on shades of gray, and perhaps Audra's vengeance isn't purely about destruction. Maybe she truly believes Kyle is making a mistake, that deep down, he doesn't belong with Claire. In her own twisted way, she could see herself as saving him from a union doomed to fail. This could set the stage for a complicated love triangle, where Kyle must navigate his attraction to Audra, his affection for Summer, and his commitment to Claire. The emotional stakes would skyrocket, keeping viewers invested week after week. No matter how it plays out, one thing is certain: if Audra Charles crashes the wedding of Kyle Abbott and Claire Grace, Genoa City will never be the same. The Abbotts will be forced to pick up the pieces of yet another public scandal. Claire will be forced to face her demons head-on, and Audra will revel in the chaos she has unleashed. For fans, it promises unforgettable drama, jaw-dropping revelations, and the kind of soapy spectacle that makes the young and the restless daytime royalty. Audra's target, the downfall of Claire. The Young and the Restless has never been short of explosive storylines, but when it comes to the tangled web of romance, betrayal, ambition, and revenge, few characters stir the pot quite like Audra Charles. Bold, beautiful, and unapologetically cunning, Audra has her sights set on a new target, and spoilers suggest it could mean nothing less than the total downfall of Claire, the blossoming relationship and possible marriage between Kyle Abbott and Claire Grace. Fans who have watched Genoa City's power players scheme for decades know one thing for certain: weddings and relationships rarely go off without drama, and when Audra decides to make her move, no one is safe. Claire was a pairing that shocked some fans at first. Claire, once under the shadow of Jordan's manipulations and her disastrous family history, seemed like the least likely woman to end up with Kyle Abbott, the heir to the Abbott fortune who has a notorious track record of messy romances. Yet their bond grew out of a shared sense of starting over, of finding light after darkness. Claire wanted redemption and stability, while Kyle wanted to escape the lingering heartbreak of his failed marriage to Summer Newman. Their relationship quickly turned from tentative dates to whispers of engagement, and soon the entire Abbott family was swept into planning a wedding that many hoped would signal a new era of peace. But in the world of Y&R, peace is fleeting, and love is rarely uncomplicated. Enter Audra Charles, a woman who refuses to be written out of Kyle's story. Her history with him is electric, filled with passion and volatility. Though Kyle has tried to distance himself, Audra has always kept one step in his orbit, whether through Jabot business dealings, corporate power plays, or carefully calculated chance encounters. To Audra, Kyle isn't just a man she once shared chemistry with, he is a symbol of everything she's been denied: a seat at the Abbott family table, influence in Genoa City's inner circle, and validation that she is more than just a corporate climber. Now that Kyle has chosen Claire, someone Audra sees as fragile, naive, and unworthy, the game has shifted. This isn't about longing anymore. This is about revenge. What makes Audra's targeting of Claire so compelling is her brilliance at psychological warfare. She doesn't need to storm into the Abbott mansion with dramatic accusations, though that's always an option. Instead, Audra is the kind of woman who knows how to plant seeds of doubt, whisper truths and half-truths until they bloom into toxic weeds that strangle relationships. Spoilers hint that she may begin by reminding Kyle of his lingering feelings for Summer, dropping hints that Claire is simply a rebound, a placeholder for the woman he truly loves. Claire, still vulnerable from her past and desperate to prove she belongs, could spiral under the weight of insecurity, making Kyle question whether she's ready for marriage. Another potential angle is business. Audra has deep ties to Tucker McCall, and if she chooses to align with him again, Jabot and the Abbott family legacy could become her weapons of choice. Imagine the chaos if she managed to engineer a corporate scandal that undermined Kyle's professional standing just as he's preparing to walk down the aisle. Claire could be left wondering if she's about to marry a man on the verge of losing everything, while Jack and Diane scramble to protect their son from yet another disaster. For Audra, destroying Kyle's career and relationship simultaneously would be the ultimate power play. But perhaps the most dangerous weapon in Audra's arsenal is herself. She knows the chemistry she shares with Kyle is undeniable, and she has never been shy about using seduction to get what she wants. A carefully staged moment, a stolen kiss, a late-night encounter, a compromising photograph, could be all it takes to send Claire running. Spoilers suggest Audra may be ruthless enough to orchestrate such a scenario, knowing that perception often matters more than reality in Genoa City. Claire, already fighting to escape her reputation as Jordan's pawn, may not have the resilience to weather such humiliation. The potential downfall of Claire would send shockwaves through multiple families. Nikki Newman, who has reluctantly given Claire her blessing, would be devastated to see her niece's progress undone. Victor, ever the opportunist, might use the Y&R's most iconic love stories. And Phyllis Summers, never one to miss an opportunity to meddle, could insert herself into the drama, either defending her daughter or scheming to ensure Kyle ends up exactly where she thinks he belongs. Audra's targeting of Claire also raises bigger thematic questions. The Abbotts have long been the heart of Genoa City, a family that prides itself on unity, resilience, and tradition. But they've also been plagued by scandal, betrayal, and romantic turmoil. Audra crashing into Kyle's love life could be a reminder that the Abbotts are not untouchable, that even their most hopeful unions can crumble under pressure. For Claire, it would be a brutal test of whether she can truly reinvent herself in a town that never forgets. For Kyle, it would be a reckoning with his own choices, forcing him to decide whether he's chasing stability, passion, or something in between. Fans love Audra because she's not afraid to be messy. She embodies the kind of unapologetic villainy that makes daytime soaps so addictive, yet she's layered enough to feel real. Her quest to destroy Claire isn't just about jealousy, it's about survival in a world that constantly underestimates her. In many ways, she's the mirror image of Claire. Both women came to Genoa City with baggage, both fought to prove themselves, but where Claire chose redemption, Audra chose power. Their collision was inevitable, and the fallout promises to be unforgettable. If Audra succeeds, Claire could be over before it truly begins. A ruined wedding, a broken engagement, or even a public scandal could leave Kyle reeling and Claire retreating from the spotlight. The aftermath would set the stage for months of drama, Kyle torn between old loves and new temptations, Claire struggling to reclaim her dignity, the Abbotts scrambling to contain another family embarrassment, and Audra reveling in her victory while setting her sights on her next conquest. But if Claire manages to stand tall and fight back, fans could see a gripping rivalry emerge, Claire versus Audra, innocence versus ambition, two women battling for love, power, and identity in Genoa City's unforgiving landscape. One thing is certain, the downfall of Claire, whether complete or narrowly avoided, will not be quiet. Audra Charles has made her intentions clear: when she wants something, she will burn down anyone who stands in her way. And in Genoa City, where secrets rarely stay hidden and alliances shift like sand, the stage is perfectly set for her most daring move yet.